Time to take off this nut right here. You know, it's funny. In the past, I've had trouble taking off that nut when I was younger. Didn't have the right tools, totally stripped it, totally had trouble. And this thing is very important. It's always good to kind of get the correct thing right here. Now, it's a 22 millimeter. I'm going to use an impact gun. You can use a wrench. I don't know, it's going to be quicker and easier and faster. Alright. Now, if you have a washer like I do, you can take it out. If it doesn't come out, it's okay, you can wait. Now, I'm going to tap this through. I'm going to actually give you a couple pointers right here. I made a mistake in the past where I took that off and I was just about to hit it like I was. And I mushroomed the top of this, and it was no good. I've done that with many different things before, and still to this day, I probably will try to do it. You know, at this point, I bought this nut for that same exact reason, so I'm not going to do it. I'm going to screw it back in and tap it. Normally I would tap it there, but I don't want to hit the frame. So you know what? I use the back of my socket. I know once it starts going a little bit, it will get easier from there. So then when I go to tap it, it won't mushroom. Which if you've ever had in the past, you'd be laughing at me right now because that really sucks to have. Definitely had it and probably will have it again in the future. Another tip, you might want to use something that fits the top of that big nut. You don't want to use something like a lady finger because it will get stuck in there and it's going to go all the way through and then you got to pull this back out, so you're just going to be stuck either way. If you want to get something, that'll push that thing almost all the way through. Even a screwdriver will work just fine. I get that washer out that I was telling you about. That totally got stuck on there just from like a little hit. Alright. Let's see if this bolt gives us trouble. Because sometimes it gives trouble. We're just going to pull it out from the back. I lubed the crap out of mine because I've had it stuck in there before. Oh, this thing's totally in there. It's because I have tension on the suspension and I don't really want to loosen it from the top. I definitely could. I should. And then you know what? For the sake of the video, I'll show you definitely how, just in case this is giving you trouble. Right up here. Alright, most likely you have a 12 millimeter holding this bracket, but you know what, you don't need to take off this bracket. We're just going to take off this nut right here, but definitely not a 12 millimeter. That is when we change sizes, so we're going to go to the handy dandy set. Tons of sockets here. I don't even know which one it is. Feeling it might be a 14. If you like what you see on Riding with Dylan, consider subscribing. Okay, we have a nut to hold. Position this camera real quick. Might as well grab a 14 wrench if you have one. If not, hold on with whatever you can. Alright. We are out. It's always good to screw the nut back with the bolt. it by hand. Don't screw it in with the impact like me. You still got a little tension here. I think it's going to shoot up and hit the swing arm. So you know what? I'm going to pull this thing out. Okay. If you're like me, you are probably going to need a, what size is this? A 6mm Allen head to take off the swing arm bolts. Still need our 12mm to take off the top nut right there. You know what, we'll do that after. There we go. Take off this one first. Make sure everything is all the way in there. You don't want to strip those bolts and have a problem. Haven't made a video on how to take that off yet. Look at me, about to have a problem because I can't hold on to it with two hands. I'm going to try to clinch this bike. Really should be doing this by hand. Alright, we are out. I'm lucky. Drop it on that pan, make this easier for myself right now. Throw it in my bin later. Alright. Try to clinch the bike a little bit. Alright, worked out great. Throw it in my bin. Okay, time to take off that 12mm I was talking to you about. Go ahead and grab your 12mm socket. Throw it on your gun. Okay. Spun that so I can take it out by hand. Alright. Got it. Take it out as an assembly. Place it right with the parts of the other ones. Cool. Alright. Under a little tension. So I'm going to grab a pry bar here. Pry it right off. If you got a screwdriver, you can use a screwdriver. So easy. It's nice to do that. It relieves a little tension so it's easier to take out that bolt. Pretty simple. Couple bolts. Unless you're having a lot of trouble getting that nut off, don't even bother. Alright. She's not slide right out. Whoo. Nope. I gotta lift up the swing arm. So I'm gonna put the camera down. Let me put the bike back on the stand a little bit. Just putting the drain plug back in so I can put this thing back on the stand a little bit better. Okay, now lifting up this swing arm, pulling out my, nope, it's pretty hard. Alright, might as well just use anything to tap it through. Basically what I'm going to do right now. Let's see. You totally get a flathead screwdriver. And I'll try to go on like the edge. you don't need to tap hard. You don't really want to tap a plastic screwdriver either, like me, but. Alright, let me put this camera down. This is really hard to do with one hand. Mush it with the head. Alright, it's out. Oh, I have a screw in there for some reason. That's really weird, right? Okay, let's screw this back in so we don't lose it. It's always good to do. My hand's all greasy again. This motor's almost out. Just leave the camera right there, right? Okay, now we grab a 12mm and take off these bolts. Hopefully it doesn't spin from the back. Definitely spin from the back. So we're gonna have to hold it with a wrench or a socket or whatever you have. It's definitely the same size on the other side. And these are 12mm to take off. Slide it out the other way. Alright, highly recommend screwing the bolt back in so you know exactly that goes there. Really saves a headache later. Get all excited when you put back together the bike. Start messing things up, you get frustrated. Alright, now we just got top engine mounts. Same thing, 12mm. Normally I take out the back ones, which I might end up doing, but I'm going to leave this there for the position of the camera. Alright, bike basically free of the frame, the engine. Alright, let me take off that top engine mount. Let's see if I can get this shot right here. If you take off this top engine mount, you would probably want a ratchet 12mm to make your life easier. Otherwise, you're going to have to use any old 12mm that fits in there nicely. Loosen that nut. That nut. Take these off by hand. Leave that there while I break this loose a little bit. Screw this in. Alright, we can take out our motor here. You can take out the other bolt for this bracket, but I'm not going to do that. We don't want to save the battery life for the video. The motor is ready to come out. Let's swing arm back a little bit. Maybe this engine mount bracket is in the way. I'm going to take it off. Why not? One extra bolt. Screw this all back together so I know exactly where it goes. Now the engine should be a little bit easier to come out. Alright. Lift up a little bit, a little twist, a little jiggle. Feel your way through. Try not to damage anything too much. Oh, I almost forgot to disconnect the clutch cable. That would have been pretty embarrassing. Alright. Put this thing back in just a little bit. Rest it right there. Grab a Phillips head, probably the number 3, if you're familiar with the sizes, to take off these nuts so you don't strip them. We just lift up the clutch lever a little bit, put this out, pull up, and it is out. Now I can freely take out the motor. Little wiggle and jiggle again. That. Ta-da! Ah! Oh! Alright, let's take a layer. Right up here. All ready to go. Transmission locked. No go.